Hey family, Dad here. Hope you're having a great day. On this video, I just wanted to talk about my 2026 goals. Now, we all have them at the beginning of the year, kind of resolutions, goals, however you want to call it. And for most of us, we're not very successful at it, like myself, in attaining our goals, resolutions that we want to accomplish for 2026. But nevertheless, I put down a couple of goals that I wanted to accomplish for this year. Now, we're in mid-January, but I've kind of put this together at the end of last year. Most of them are attainable. And one of the things I'm doing differently is I'm documenting them in my phone, in my calendar, my notes every week, just to kind of remind myself the initiatives or goals that I've put for myself for this year. So the few goals that I put together, the first one is, and I've shared this on a previous video, is a no spend on clothes for 2026. I think it's attainable. I think roughly about $600 on clothes last year, which adds up to roughly $50 a month. I went a little overboard in November, December on some clothes with the plan of not spending any clothes or shoes for 2026. I did say previously that I am going to buy a pair of new outdoor trail shoes in the upcoming months, buy that, but I am getting reimbursed from my company. My company does give us a healthcare credit every year. If I buy these, I'll get reimbursed, so I consider that as kind of a no spend on clothes. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you updated on that. And then the second goal that I've implemented for this year is try to attain $1 million in investments. So I shared my kind of what my investments look like, what my net worth look like at the end of December. Roughly, I'm about at $850,000 in total investments. My goal is to get that above the $1 million threshold by the end of this year. And it looks like it's on pace, just the trajectory that I've had past 7-8 years. You know, I could attain that as long as I consistently invest and the market is doing great. If the market is not doing great, if we fall into, a decline for this year versus a positive return, then the odds are I probably won't hit it. The next one, put a goal for myself, is to pay down my mortgage. Now, specifically, I want to pay down $11,000 on the principal. So currently it's about roughly $162,000, and I'd like to get that down to $151,000 by the end of this year. Now, obviously, my principal and interest on my monthly payment will help with that. I'm going to have to make extra payments. I usually do extra payments every month and then every quarter as well. Now, I've never done $11,000 in mortgage payments before, mainly because I'm 50 years old. I want to have no mortgage before I'm 60. That's the goal. It would be nice to have no mortgage before I turn 60. The next one, and this is something I've been fighting for years, in fact, probably decades, and it's to get my weight down. Now, I'm roughly about 180, 185 pounds. I'd like to get down to 175-ish pounds by the end of the year. This is something I've put into my phone, put in my calendar regularly just to remind myself. Now, I've shared previously, I've been on a weight journey about 20 years ago. I went down from 225 roughly down to 160. And slowly over these 20 years, I've gained a little bit of weight to the point now. I went, back in 06, I was right around 160 to now I'm roughly about 180, 182. I need to get that down a little bit. And mainly part of that was, I got my physical done late last year. A couple markers that really popped up as far as blood work was my cholesterol was a little higher. One of the things that you could work on is losing weight on that. So I try to eat as good as I can. Obviously, I'm not successful in it. I do have my challenges. I'm not perfect on that. I love my sugar. One of the goals is obviously reduce the weight, but I'm going to try and eat less and try to incorporate less sugar in my diet throughout the year. So we'll see how that goes. I've been working out a lot. I've been working out since I was 15 years old consistently, with maybe a couple years when I was married of living the sedentary life and gaining all that weight. But for the most part, overall in my life, I've been working out consistently. And then the last probably almost 3 years now, I've been doing CrossFit with a little mix of cardio. I enjoy it. I enjoy just the different workouts with CrossFit. But the challenge has always been diet. I can tell you from 35 years of working out, you can never outwork a bad diet. And that's my biggest challenge, is trying to get my food intake, tighten it up a little bit and get better. And then with that tied into it is just consistently work out, 4 to 6 times a week. I've always done that, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I do believe like maybe incorporating a little more conditioning throughout my workouts will help kind of reduce my weight. But the big thing is for me is reducing or eating better. If I can get my sugar dialed in, if I can incorporate more fruits and vegetables and eat less, I think I can hit my goal weight. So those are my goals. Mainly they're, obviously for me, they're more health-wise with my food intake, getting my weight down, and then financial, right? No spending on clothes, investment goals, and to pay down a good chunk on my mortgage. So tell me your thoughts. What are your goals for this year? Would love to hear them. Comment, like, subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. So that's all I got. I'll see you all at the next video.